I'll call the meeting to order with a roll call.
Psycho.
Here.
Long Break.
Here.
Malbin.
Here.
Kruger. Jeremini's here.
All right. I sent out the October minutes. I need a motion to approve that. First by anyone want to? Lori. Sure. Anyone want to second that? Okay, Debbie. All those in favor?
It's got to be a roll call vote.
Oh,
We can just
It has to be a roll call by law.
because
Oh,
we're
really?
on video.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
So, Long Break,
Yes.
Malbin, Psycho,
Yes.
Jeremini says yes.
All right, and then approval of the agenda and any additions. Well, since some people are not showing up, we may be skipping parts of the agenda. I don't have anything to add. Oh boy, Ron just texted me. All right, let me text him back. Pardon?
Join?
Pardon?
Is he going to join?
He says he can't find any information to join the meeting, which I find hard to believe since I sent the same email out to everybody.
I'll tell you the truth, it was hard I didn't realize it was on the,
Yeah, on the page, you have to click on the document to get it.
yeah.
You want me to text them the login information?
Yeah, if you could just say, click on the link on the actual agenda page for the Zoom meeting, because that's how it happens.
Right.
And then while he's doing that, if I guess you can't do two things at one time, so I'll have to wait a second.
You can try and see what
If you
happens.
could split your body in half and just
What do you want me
keep
to do?
writing.
What are you talking about here? I've already typed
I just want to
something.
approve the agenda.
Well, we need a motion in a second.
That's what I mean. I know when you're done writing.
Go ahead, keep going because I'm adding
okay.
to it. So.
All right. Motion by Long Break.
I'll
Second by Melvin.
Okay, Melvin.
All those in favor?
Roll call vote.
Aye.
Roll call. Melvin,
Yes.
Long Break,
Yes.
Psycho.
Yes.
Jeremini says yes.
All right. Let's see. All right. See if he emerges from the next couple minutes. Okay. Welcome our new council liaison, Mark Jeremini.
Oh, that's right.
Yes, he's officially councilman and is going to represent us on the council. So
That's awesome.
yes.
Thank you. Yeah. So not a lot changed really. I'm still here. Just my title changed.
Your title changed and you're still a member, and we're glad you are on here. So thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for your support. And then if John Scott were on, I would ask if he wanted to continue his membership on the committee, but he is not here, so I will not ask him. So I wanted to let you know that monthly meetings are going to change. So we're doing them every other month. So we'll start with January and every other month from that point. Reason being, we've got the main part of the memorial completed, and from this point on, we're just finishing and adding different things into the memorial in different phases. Got another. Do you see that, Mark?
I'm sorry, what?
He's
His iPad.
respond back.
I haven't got anything from him.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah, I just see you. Okay.
Whose iPad?
I'm
I just let him in because I thought it might be one of those two folks.
Yeah,
So
probably.
if you can hear me, can you activate your audio and your video, please? That should be bottom left side of your screen. That should say unmute and start the video. They don't seem to be activating, so they might not be able to hear me. So we might just want to keep going, and I'll try to work on that.
okay. All right. So, yeah, if we need to schedule a meeting outside the bi-monthly meetings, we can always call for an extra special meeting, you know, in between. I just wanted to try to make it a little bit easier on everyone's life. So that will be coming effective January. And then we'll move on to new business. And this is the part where I'd like Ron to be on. There is Ron. Yay.
He
connecting
just
to
joined
audio.
us.
Yay. And Fred's here.
Fred.
He's the mysterious iPad guy. Yeah, so Fred, on your screen at the top, you're going to tap your screen and then you'll see a mute. You're going to click on the little microphone where it says mute, and you should be able to unmute yourself.
And Fred, I can also unmute you as well. So once you get settled there, I can also unmute you.
How do I get the picture?
Should be right next to the mute button. It should say start video. Yep, there you go.
Oh,
Yay.
Hey, how you doing, Ron?
good. How are you?
Fred, Ron?
Hi.
And Fred, I can unmute you if you're settled there. Just give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, great. So we should be able to hear you now. Fred, how you doing today? Oh, we're not hearing you though, Fred. We're seeing you. So maybe try to rejoin. And when you first join in, just make sure to join with iPad audio. And that way it'll have access to your microphone. So that might be the issue. So if you want to leave and then rejoin.
Okay. Ron, so you joined just in time. We just got to new business. This is where we decide and release the funds for the holiday decorations. So I figure I'll turn it over to you and Debbie because you guys are.
I just threw the
Oh.
idea out. I
Oh.
didn't give it any thought.
All right. Well,
I don't even have my own Christmas lights up
Yeah.
yet.
oh goodness. Okay, let's go to Debbie.
About what?
About decorating the memorial, do you have any ideas?
No,
Like a Christmas wreath or?
Ron, what was your ideas?
I just asked if we thought it would be a good idea. You know, I'm not sure. It might be a little bit
Late?
late to put it together now. You know, I mean, if we string garland, you know, like I don't know where we would put a wreath.
Well, if we had one of the stands like they do like at the big cemeteries, they have the stand with the wreath. You know, the
Yeah,
metal
but-
stand.
Yeah,
I don't know
those
where
are
you
pretty
put it.
small. Those are pretty small stands. And
Yeah, I don't know if they have bigger ones. That's the first thing I thought of.
Last year, we had one, and it was a red, white, and blue bow. I mean, I got it at the farmer's market in Pontiac. And it just
Yeah,
said,
that's what I was gonna say.
right, and it was on the easel or whatever, you know, that type it was. And then, but there was grass and everything. I'm not even sure where it would fit. a
Well,
wreath.
if I tried to put anything like a wreath or whatever, probably on the American flag, do something in the center. Um, or where or put it where the water feature is supposed to go, because we got that half circle area.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, garland along the back wall, and then maybe the wreath in the center.
I'm not sure how you attach garland onto the wall. I wouldn't.
Well, what you would do is because we have the columns, you'd string it down between the columns and then wrap it behind the column and then down around, and then, so you have a couple of scallops, created. The top of the wall does have a lip on both sides, so you could even try to do something with some wire that would attach to the back side of the lip.
Do you normally have somewhere where you get the decorations from, or is it just whatever?
No, I'm usually working hard enough just to do my own house, and I don't have my lights up yet. I was hoping to get them up last weekend, but it looks like it's going to be this weekend. It's because I'm still working. It's I keep on thinking that today is going to be my last day, but I'm working tomorrow too, and it'll probably stretch into Monday. But I don't know. I have one of those. What do you call it? You've probably seen them where they have the Christmas tree with the lights, that go up and down. Where you just have the white lights on them. You can put one of those in there and then put garland around it. The one that I bought at English Gardens is like almost 10 feet tall. And they had it on super sale. I think I only paid $70 for it. And it was regular over 300. And if you did something like that and then some garland on both sides, because that would be, we only have the two bigger trees, and to put Christmas lights on those trees, I don't know what would be. I don't think it'd be enough. I mean, I'm the only one that's talking. So anybody else got any ideas?
I would keep it pretty simple and clean. I would put some garland around the two front posts, and then I would do it in the back like you were talking about, and then I'd place a wreath or two in the where the water feature would be, just something that kind of acknowledges the season, but also at the same time very peaceful.
Okay, well, if you want to determine some kind of a budget, and then we can see what we can back into it and see what can be done. Anybody?
Well, Debbie,
My dad had connections at the farmer's market. I mean, if you want me to look for wreaths. But
I think last year it was like $35 with the stand. And she made the bow in red, white, blue.
I have no idea what garland costs. So,
well, that cedar roping, I can't remember the last time I priced it out.
Debbie, do you remember what you bought for the village last year? I want to say it was around, we had quite a bit footage wise. It was probably around 300.
I think it was at least, yeah, it had to be somewhere around 300.
Yeah.
Well, to do the three walls, it would take about 30 feet.
Because where they sell it in 25 feet and then 50 feet. Ron, are you looking?
I'm looking at my other computer. I'm trying to look up English Gardens to see what,
I've got a suggestion.
Okay.
Sure.
Hi, Fran.
What about the Oakland Farmers Market? There's a lot of people out there that sell that type of stuff at this time of the year. And considering what the reason would be, they might be interested in providing some reasonable costs.
Or give a discount, being that it's military.
Right. Right.
Well, that's where I got the stuff last year from.
Okay.
Where I got the wreath, she gave the discount, like a couple of bucks off. The roping, they didn't give a discount. But, if you want me to, I'd be more than happy to go to the farmer's market and go get a wreath. And that, I don't think it should be probably under $100.
Okay. Well,
The other thing, sorry.
no, go ahead.
The other thing is, when I was doing stuff down at my beach a few years ago, I went to Lowe's to get some paint, and they were ready and willing to give me the paint and the brushes for free.
Wow.
Wow.
So Lowe's and Home Depot sell that. I had to have a letter written out by the beach president, and they were ready and willing to give it to me, no problem.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I just talked to the store manager, and that's what he said. So, maybe if Kelly did something and wrote it out on like the village letterhead or create a letterhead and go over and see the store manager, because both Lowe's and Home Depot sell wreaths and all that roping stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that would have to happen kind of quickly. I don't know if I can punch out a letter. I don't have the official capacity. Do I?
Well, we have the corporate letter, which even though this wouldn't necessarily be in there, it'd be in that vein. So it's at least shows that it is official. And that is on village letterhead. So
Okay. So if I contact Paige, she might be able to drum up something and then simple, and then I can sign it.
yeah, I mean, it's basically like in the vein of when we would go to businesses for the corn roast,
Okay.
like that kind of a letter.
Okay.
Yep.
This would be more targeted.
All right. And should we I think we should set aside some budgeted funds in case that doesn't work. Who knows what the situation is this year? But just in case we get told, well, we can give you a discount, but we can't give it all to you or something like that. So should we allow up to, I don't know, you want to say like 125, 150? And it doesn't mean we have to spend it, because if they'll give it to us, then we'll take it. We don't have to do anything. But if it's there,
Well,
it's there.
I looked up the cedar garland that Ron was talking about.
Mhm.
I mean, this was at Lowe's. I just looked up what I could find real quick. 20 feet is $16, and I don't know how many feet he said we would need. I mean, just
about
to
30
estimate.
feet. I think the between the pillars is 10 feet between the pillars. So there's 3 sections of 10, so 30 feet. And then if we put a wreath on the 2 pillars that where you come in on, if you put a wreath on those, and maybe even a wreath on each of the 4 pillars and the roping, and then actually you can include some Christmas lights on the roping if you wanted to do that. There's a plug right behind the wall where it can be plugged in at. I think I have a timer.
That's quite fancy. We do have the lighting set up for
Yeah,
it, though.
we've already got the
Mhm.
cap lights on there, and those would kind of illuminate it.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, they would illuminate the wreaths.
really nicely. Just on
That
their
would
own.
look really nice to have the wreaths on each column like that.
So
Yeah.
could we motion not to exceed 150? I mean, I think that's more than enough.
So you're talking 6 wreaths.
Yeah, 6 wreaths, 30 feet of garland. I got extra Christmas lights, so we don't have to worry about, I got so many lights, I don't know what to do with them.
And are those wreaths like $30 a piece, $20?
I don't know.
Probably
I
closer to
thought I
30,
saw
if
some
not
price down around 15 to 20.
Yeah, I bought some last couple of weeks ago at Lowe's and they were $15 each.
Okay.
But that was just the green wreath with no ribbon, no, and nothing, correct?
Oh, it had a ribbon on it.
The
It had a
red-
little ribbon on it.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And Kelly, if you wanted
If
to.
we had to, we could
do
always
that
change the
each-
red, white, and blue.
What were you saying, Red? I mean, Fred?
Kelly, if you wanted to go over there, I would meet you over there and do whatever.
Okay. Yeah, let's hunker down with a dollar amount here. 150?
We get 6 wreaths and they're 30 a piece, just say, that's 180, so.
They've
Well,
got
they're only
wreaths from,
$15 a
they got
piece.
wreaths from $12.98 to, $50. So
Right.
we don't need to go with a huge wreath either because they're going on the pillars rather than on a door.
And these
I was
are
just going by what Ron said.
Right, I understood.
and Fred, did you buy an artificial or was this the cedar?
It's real.
A
Okay.
20
It was real.
oval
Yeah.
time wreath with a red
Okay.
velvet bow at Home Depot is $9.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I think
They have them starting at $9 with and go up from there. So
Okay.
that's at Home
150
Depot.
would be very sufficient
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
as a cap.
All right. So you'll make that motion, I take
I
it?
will, yeah.
And then someone would like to second that? Long break? Any discussion? All right. I guess we'll go ready for a vote.
Psycho,
Yes.
Malbin. Malbin,
Yes.
Long Break,
Yes,
Kruger,
Yes.
Giramini is yes.
All right. Motion
Not to
passes.
exceed $150.
And I'll see if I can get some kind of letter crafted and pursue that option first and start with Lowe's and then knock on Home Depot's door if Lowe's doesn't.
Play them against each other.
That's right. If you don't do it, I'm going to go to your
both
competition. That's how I'll get them.
they both do military discount. That's what my dad said, so
Okay.
And
I don't know. if-
I have that, so I could
Oh.
use that if necessary.
That's why I'll take you with me.
I
Okay.
can do it.
Now the question is, can we
10%,
get the military discount
10%,
and the tax
yeah,
savings from the village?
10% anytime at both stores.
Well,
Okay.
that's perfect.
Good deal. All right. So, yeah, we'll work on that. And hopefully this coming week we can get to it. I'll set up a time to go to the store and get a hold of you, Fred. And when I have, I don't know, Ron, would you like to help with securing everything? Or does everyone want to come out there? I feel like we should
Come out
probably
where?
have
Come out where?
to the site to put
Put
on
the decorations with the
Yeah,
memorial, right?
I can do it Monday.
I'm happy
Okay.
to help with the decorations, like putting
Okay.
them up if needed. That's no problem.
All right, I'll just send out yeah, I'll send out a message when I get it all together. Okay, cool, that's done. We can go on to the next item. So this is brick placement concerning public and update the donor site with language and photos. And what that means Some people are wanting to, I'll get a brick, but I want it here. Well, we can't guarantee the space in this exact spot that you may want. So we have to put something on our website saying, we can't guarantee you're going to be in a spot that you want to be in. You're going to be where we put you.
Well, those options are kind of, should have had their bricks earlier, right? I mean, people were able to say, I want this closer to here or anything else. I mean,
I think we can accommodate them pretty easily. I mean, I don't think there's going to be that many bricks if a few people, have specific requests. I think they wouldn't be that hard to accommodate. Now that the bricks are in, it would be easy for me to go through and identify all the bricks that are there and actually do a drawing similar to the one that I gave Mark
Mhm.
a while back, only this one would be more accurate. That's not hard to do. I can handle that.
So
Mark?
maybe have a disclaimer say,
Well, I mean,
we will try.
we'll try to honor your request, but we
Right.
can't guarantee anything because we've had some people call and the village with issues with the current bricks. For example, one, we put the brother and sister together instead of the husband and wife. So, the mother called and asked us to move them. And I said, yeah, we can do that. When we do the next installation, we can swap those.
I can do that anytime. I bought that brick extractor,
Oh,
so
okay.
I
So
have.
we do have some of that kind of stuff going on. And then we've got,
I can do
Right.
things.
we've had an email come in and somebody ordered a brick and then was asking if there was a grid and they could choose where they could put it and things like that. And so that's where I'm wanting to make sure that we do have the language in place that says, we will try to honor your request, but we can't guarantee that you will. If you want to be right by the Marine flag, well, we can't always guarantee that because,
Hey, for an extra $20,
oh yeah, money talks. Money always talks, but
well, how would you like that I don't have any bricks? And that's something I'm not worried about, but I mean, my whole family brick is gone. It was never even ordered. They never even found the paperwork and the village cashed my money. So,
yeah, I know. And that's so weird. And I think honestly, I mean, we haven't heard from anybody else.
right.
So I think for some reason, somehow,
It's the absolute first.
Was that way back,
yeah.
Yes.
way back in
Yeah.
the beginning?
Yeah.
So that one, yeah, I've got to enter those into the system. But other than that, those will get put in when we do the next order.
I know.
Mhm.
So,
But it turned out beautiful. That's the whole thing. It turned out just absolutely spectacular. And that's the great thing.
Okay. So, yeah, we'll just update the language on the site saying, we can't guarantee a spot in a certain area, but we'll, if we can, swing it, we'll try.
Yeah, we'll make every effort, but there's no guarantees.
Right. Because, maybe somebody wants to be next to their neighbor and it's already a spot that's next to someone else, so you don't want to play Tetris all day with them either. So, okay. And
I did
think,
start working on that a little bit.
that was my next question.
Yeah, where is that? I got to find the page. So because I was looking at what we have up there, and obviously that's kind of bad or dated. So I kind of went with a little bit more of to clean it up. Like I made sure that the which flags poles available are clear because it still says POW on there. I switch it up so it says, thank you to all those who have donated. We are making fantastic progress in our fundraising and phase 1 is now complete. The donor bricks look great, but we want to add more. We will be adding bricks annually, so you still have the opportunity to purchase a brick. But I'm kind of, and then I kind of leave it the way it is, the rest of it that's on the current site. So I'm kind of looking for what else do we want to say about purchasing bricks, I guess?
I think I don't know if you want to say, well, you said annually, so maybe just leave it that in there.
Yeah, I figure that's what we're gonna do unless we do like some
At
kind
the
of-
minimum, yeah,
Yeah.
that's at the minimum of what we would do probably, so. But as soon as we have 10 bricks, we can place an order because we get free shipping at that point.
Mhm. And then for the photos, I was thinking of, are you seeing this? Can you see this photo?
It's loading
Okay.
on my end. Okay, yep.
That's the photo we used for the spinal column. So it's not perfect because it's, still muddy, but it does, I mean, it catches everything, and it'll be obviously a lot smaller on the donor site. And then the other photo I was thinking about was something like this to kind of show it at night.
That's beautiful.
That's really pretty.
And that would replace the two photos that are
And I
on there
could
that are the renderings.
Yeah, and I got more photos, especially after the mulches and stuff like that.
I mean, if
So,
you send me
I
a
can-
photo, because these are filtered, I just put them through the filters because that's a thing now that you can do on your phone. So they look a little cleaner and prettier that way. But yeah, if you have more up to date they look even cleaner, the actual
Mhm.
surface, then great.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I only have about 300 photos, so.
I figure- yeah, I was going through my phone and I'm looking at the photos that I've got from ones that I've taken or ones that you've sent and things like that. So it was just kind of looking to see what might work, just to give it a little more polish. Yeah, because the site we have neglected.
Yeah, in my Veterans Memorial album, I have 295 pictures.
Oh, my goodness.
Well,
But-
one of those should work.
Oh, yeah, no, I've got plenty. And I was almost thinking about going out after it snowed and taking some pictures, in the snow too.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, that'll look nice.
If it was snowing with the lights going, that would look really nice.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, we can't put video on there yet.
No, not that I'm aware of. I don't think so.
Oh,
We
wait,
just
I
a
do
couple
have one for the snow.
photo logs.
Oh, yeah.
It would be really interesting to have somebody take a picture with a drone.
Ron,
Oh, you're speaking Ron's language.
speak of which, we've got a few.
We've got there's at least 100
I
drone
couldn't
pictures.
the ones that I have, none of them were quite right to me. So
Meet each other, Fred and Ron?
What's that?
Did you meet Fred?
Yeah, we've met before.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Lily.
All right.
I think that'll be, I think it doesn't need a ton of work, the donor site. It just needs to be updated with the new news.
I just sent you a night shot with the
Okay.
snow.
Okay.
But I'll get you some nice ones.
Yeah, like I said, and once I submit it to them, they've been really good about updating the donor site within 24 hours or so. That's actually
Just
a
a-
really nice photo.
This is just a note for Alex that I received a text from John Scott. He was in another meeting and he's maybe wrapping it up soon, so he may try to join late. So if someone chimes in, that's who it is.
Sounds good. I'll keep a watch out. Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right. Any other concerns on the language on the website or photos? We're good with what Mark is doing so far?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. All right. And then so probably about a month ago, I got a call from Michael Pedakowski, and he is a Eagle Scout, and I believe he lives in Northville Township. Not 100% sure. It was Novi or Northville. Anyway, he would like to build 2 picnic tables for us.
That's nice.
Yeah, so I want to invite him out to the site after we decide. I'm sure everybody is all for this. So I don't know his carpentry skills, his skill set, but I wanted to give him creative freedom to kind of do what he wanted to do on the picnic tables. If he wanted to, build like a hexagonal shaped table, or Mark said there's maybe a handicap table that would be nice. So it's wheelchair accessible. A couple options. So I'd like Michael to see the site and kind of visualize how he would like things. And so as far as I know, that he would either stain the wood or use pressure treated wood in building it. And that's all I know so far. So if everyone's on board, have any suggestions, anything they'd like to add to that, or would like to see with the picnic tables?
Are we providing the materials? Are we paying for the materials and he's going to build it? Or is he including the materials?
I believe for Eagle Scout project, they get this all funded through the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, they do like bottles and can drives and things like that to raise the money, and then everything is done by them. So, from my understanding and observations, so I think it'd be great, no matter what picnic table he wants to do.
I agree.
It'd be nice to have a couple tables donated by an Eagle Scout to the Veterans Memorial for that area, freshen up a couple of tables in the park in general, but just in that area, it'd be great to see that.
Okay, so I'll set up a time with him, probably sometime in the daytime when the weather's mild, and go out there, and then I'll shoot out an email or something if would like to join, meet up there, and we can meet him and get a feel for what's going to happen. It's hard to do all this stuff. It's like the pressure cooker before Christmas, get all this stuff done and wrap your gifts and go buy them still if you haven't.
Well, you don't have to get me much, Kelly.
Okay. All right. I'll just 1 bottle of bourbon this year.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. All right. The next thing is new ideas to add to the memorial. Well, Bonnie was on the list to speak tonight, and she is not here. So there's one item we won't be discussing. But I did speak to Ron the other day, and he brought up the addition of security cameras to use on the memorial. So I don't know if there's anyone else that had anything they would like to add at this time. I think, the other thing Ron had was the arches, and we'll talk about both of those items. So if there's nothing else anyone had to add, Ron, you can take it away.
Well, I had way back when we first started working on the design, we had talked about putting in some kind of an arbor or a gateway or something like that leading into it. We couldn't decide, if we were doing it out of wood, metal, whatever. I don't know if anybody's been out to the War Dog Memorial over there in 10 Mile and Milford Roads, but they have a nice metal archway that leads into it. And a lot of the different, when you go out to Lake Orion and Oxford, a lot of those places do have a nice arbor going in. So I came up with 3 different concepts for for a possible one. And I got to go, I have to go to a metal fabricator anyway for some other business. And I was going to show him these and try to get some kind of ballpark pricing on it. You know, I don't know if you can, I don't know if you can really see with this, but basically it would be an arch made out of metal, tube steel, and it would either be curved, flat top, or with kind of a scallop where it, you know, I can get I can email copies of the different.
Well, they have,
design.
I've emailed it. I think Mark's working on pulling it up right now.
Yep.
Mark?
It might be a
Mark's gonna
sec
pull it up.
because I can't remember where it is, but
It's an email from Ron.
Yeah,
no, I
can't
think he sent it to a, yeah, I think
laptop
it's which
does.
email it's on.
Oh, okay.
That's all.
I could probably
But-
tell you in a second.
I know where it is. I think I do. It just took me a second to log in.
But it would have a center circle on it that has maybe an American eagle with a flag type thing. And then it would have 3 circles to either side, following what we have going with the flags, you know, for a Marine emblem, an Army emblem, and so on. And I use that basic concept on all 3, whether it be, I kind of favor the curved top myself.
Yeah, it's to your Outlook account, Mark,
Yep.
on the 29th.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'll find it.
Ron?
Yes.
Yes, I've discovered this company out, I think by the airport in New Boston called Speed Cult. And they make standard and customized metal fabrications of anything you want. And they also powder coat them.
Okay. I use a company out of Livonia. I've been using them for the, you know, for doing things like handrail railings and different type of art. You know, they do a really cool spiral staircase too.
Yeah.
It's I think it's Great Lakes Metal Fabricating. Can't remember the name now for some
Okay.
reason, but I'm would
Okay.
be more than happy to. That's the concept that I like the best right there.
That's concept A. See if this works. Can everybody see B?
Mhm.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
And then here's C.
Pretty too.
I figure C would be the most expensive to put
Yeah.
together
Oh,
because
yeah.
of the various.
There's some metal
radiuses and
bending.
everything.
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of going more with A. Would have been my favorite, but I'm open to. And Kelly, that is an 8-foot walk leading up
Oh,
the.
it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
I double checked it today.
Okay.
So when you're 12 foot wide, that means we got 2 feet on either side, and it's about, at the tallest point, it's 12 feet tall. So, on the inside, and then it would be like tube steel, 12 inches apart, almost look like rigging. You know, when you see shows, you know, like band shows or a concert, they have that rigging set up where it's kind of an open feature, and then each one of those circles, like I say, would be a member of the armed forces, and the middle one would be the U.S.
So Ron, in your mind, and you have to be pretty good at this, you're talking how many thousands for this?
I have no idea when it comes to metal fabricating. You know, when it comes to metal fabricating, you know, like the normal handrail that I do for people, you know, put them like 3 or 4 steps leading up, and that you can easily get $1,000 for just a handrail.
I
And
bet this
so,
is $5,000 or $6,000.
Yeah,
Well,
I would have
yeah.
figured the 5,000 to 6,000 range.
Mhm.
And getting some ideas that would help dictate, if we change our the design and so on. But it would be black powder coated. I would assume we would go with black. But I'd like to go with this other person that Alex knows, get another price. I mean, different people have different values of their work.
I still think we should still do, and this is going back to before, is a GoFundMe on certain projects. Did you guys see it's like a Kickstarter? You put your money out there. I mean, you put your information out there. I don't know if it's Kickstarter or whatever, and people from all around, we might have someone who's loves the butts like we all do, another state, and they would donate funds. Did you guys ever see anything like that?
Well, I don't know how they were found, but like at the War Dog Museum, it didn't have a fence around it, a wrought iron fence. And somebody out of Pennsylvania donated like $30,000 to put a fence around this, around this memorial. I have no idea how they found each other, but it does happen.
Okay, you know what? It's not Kickstarter. It's called crowd sharing. Have you guys heard about that?
Mhm.
So it's a crowd sharing. I can look more into it.
Okay, well, remember, we've got our corporate letter meetup now too, so we can,
Never received.
we're gonna get to that later in the agenda. Mark will give us an update.
Mhm.
But yes,
Anything social media related, anything with crowdfunding, any of those, it's all about the number of eyes that see it. So if you don't find the right person, that's why, as we've seen, and we'll talk about it later too, the Facebook page, as it's getting more likes, getting more things like that, and more views and more eyes, it does increase the odds that people are going to hear about it. So within that's our right now, our main avenue towards reaching people beyond just the local community, is through social media, and through that, in particular, our Facebook page, so that people do come and order bricks and things like that, and may be interested in doing even more.
Right.
So anyway, so I'm gonna get some pricing on these and find out, and at least get some kind of a start point.
okay, great. And then as far as security cameras, I don't know if you've had a chance to research that or not. I know,
I haven't.
okay. I know that the officer that came out the night you and I were out there said something about getting a Ring camera installed.
Well, it's something as simple as that. I mean, I even thought as far as if you had to add another flagpole, for example, off to the side and have a camera mounted on top of that, or if a camera can be mounted in a tree or something that, that is battery operated, that can send a signal back to the police department or whoever, because I'm mostly concerned, I don't want somebody to come through and steal the lights or vandalize, come through with a spray can, paint can, and decide to leave their presence known.
The only thing, I have a battery ring in my front door, and you do have to recharge it. So I would think go hardwire would be the best thing.
Okay.
We didn't know how to hardwire, so that's why I went with the battery for at night. But it is a bite in the butt to charge that battery as much as it needs, because the more motion, the more battery it uses.
Sure, and the flag could be like this on a windy day and it's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
I know the chief has expressed concerns that it's difficult to get anything at the park sent back to the village hall. That's been one of the difficulties they've encountered, is because there is a lack of an effective signal. I mean, if we got a camera that stores it and then we would just have to download it, should something happen, that would be a possibility, or maybe a more realistic one at this time. But
Yeah,
I do
because
know
I mean,
he's
some of
expressed
these
issues.
cameras would have like a loop, you
Mhm.
know, where they play
Mhm.
over itself and it might be a week long or something like that, and if you had to access it. I haven't actually done any research on it yet to see
Okay.
what kind of things are out there, other than thinking that we
Oh.
need to do something.
A lot of people use trail cams, a similar
Mhm.
camera that's used for hunters, so they can see if there's any game in their area. And then there would be a chip in there, and you would just take it out and download it.
You mean like
Okay.
this? I just bought one for myself so I can watch my bird feeder.
Oh, oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
how much are those,
Well,
Ron?
Dick's,
It's $100.
Okay,
Well, actually, I bought it a long time ago, but
okay.
Dick's Sporting Goods or Dunham's or something.
Costco for
And,
Oh,
$79 at Costco.
Okay,
I'll try it and let you know how it works.
okay. Yeah,
And it's camouflage. We can hide it in the tree. So when Andy does that trimming, we can clear a spot,
yeah, we'll mount it from a branch and cover it up with a bird nest.
There you go.
No one will ever know it's there. Okay. All right, so the next thing I have on the agenda is to decide on official opening. Well, I think, we could all, the next major holiday, like Memorial Day, is one that comes natural to think of here. However, I don't know where we're going to be in the pandemic at that point. So if I call to set up something with the Legion, and Fred, do you happen to be a member of the Legion in the Wixom?
no, I used to be a member of the Legion and the VFW, but that was a long time ago and I didn't do it. But I do have a friend. I'm a Meals on Wheels volunteer. And I
Okay,
have a friend that I work with who is an officer for the auxiliary over at the VFW.
okay,
But no, I do not belong
Okay.
anymore.
all right. So yeah, I'll see. I don't know. I've been kind of putting it off a little bit because to see where we are in this whole COVID thing. But yeah, I did see on Nextdoor somebody was trying to get someone to play taps because the Legion wasn't able to be there. So yeah, I'm not sure how that will go down. But we have, who we have to decide, who do we want to open this up to in the public, and how to present a ceremony and that thing. It'll do you make a program and you have a band play? Do you have an instrumental person play? Do you have a salute or Debbie, you had said they have a flag ceremony.
I'd like to be I'd like to work on that.
Okay, and you are a Legion member,
I am.
correct? So okay, maybe you could poke around and see what could be done, and at these ceremonies, who gets invited besides the general public, obviously. But like, do they invite our representatives to the state? Do they invite, Congress people? Do they, I just don't know how it goes 100%.
I
So-
do know that Senator Runstead's people were asking about when we were going to be doing it. So
Okay.
I'm certain it has an appeal to government officials.
Oh, sure.
I
Sure,
personally
I'm
think
sure
that
they-
I personally think if their
Yeah.
entity hasn't written a check to us, then, you know, well, you know, why are we going to invite you kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, obviously it would create more public attention and bring a little more likelihood of larger media presence that might then lead to more donations. So,
Well, it's possible they might be able to secure some kind of that pork barrel money for us, bring back the pork,
yeah.
bring it to Wolverine Lake. Because
Having,
what's
the-
that?
I said, and then we could end up having the thing make run.
What's that?
Yeah.
Arch money.
Yeah. Get the government to get the state of Michigan to pay for the arch and stuff.
Well, yeah,
There you go.
yeah, it's veteran money, right?
Yeah.
But you never know. There may be some kind of funds for memorials. Who's the Ryan Berman? Berman? Yeah, I spoke with him, and he said there's a way to get money for that. When early on, this is 2 corn roasts, 1, 2.
Well, technically only 1 because we didn't have 1.
2 corn roasts to go. if we would have had one this year, 2 years ago. Anyway, so yeah, it doesn't hurt to ask. But I'm sure this year, yeah, funds are strapped because of the situation. So I doubt that it's easy to get to that stuff secure at this fiscal year. Okay, I'll let you look into that, Deb. If you could handle that, that would help. All right, so Ron, I brought this up with you the other day because I got a person that wanted to know about the Space Force branch and how are we going to recognize that in the memorial. So yeah, it is a serious question. There's 16,000 members of the Space Force, and most of them are from the Air Force, but I don't know. I don't know the how to answer that question to someone who asks me.
I still say combine it with the Air Force. You know, if they have to have their own flag, put a second flag up with the Air Force. You know, it's just, I don't know. It's such a small, group, small area. You know, I hate to take the cemetery out of the memorial by trying to add another flagpole. Just for them. And plus, I'd have to move some plants. It's
Put it off the side and put the cameras in that, and then it would be like all fit in. Security cameras in the Space Force.
Well,
or we can get a shorter one, and just kind of put it in between or something, like it's offspring, like on a car where you have the parents and then the little one. Just put a little flagpole behind the bigger flag. And then, when the Navy decides to start something or whatever else, we can
put them on the Coast Guard flag.
yeah, or something like that.
Because yeah, those guys get along great.
We don't have anything for the National Guard either, I mean,
well, that's kind of the problem when we started this, we were able to look at, countless other memorials for examples and what they did. And now nobody has a Space Force in their memorial. So there's nobody for us to cheat off of or to get ideas from because that's the question. It's not just us, it's every memorial. If they are going to, how are they going to adopt it into their, because a lot of them have symmetry and other things as well. And so it is not an easy answer.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's almost like we have to wait for another force, another space, like if we had 2 things that we needed to do, then there might be, I mean, the idea of a smaller flag that would be between some of them, that's really not a bad idea per se, but I still want to have balance, I mean, and I don't feel the Space Force should have as much recognition as the main forces, the main branches of the service. So, or we could do something like, okay, the Space Force can go where the POW flag is, and then just put the POW flag kind of in its own spot, because, technically they're not a branch of the armed forces. They should have maybe their own special recognition. So you create a small garden within the garden for the POWs, and then move the Space Force over to the to where the POW flag is now. I mean,
Well,
that's,
that would be flag etiquette too. Space Force
yeah,
would be.
I mean, then the POW has its own identity. It's not necessarily one of the branches, but we can give it its own identity or something.
But all the people that are POWs were in the various branches of the armed
Right.
forces.
Right.
So, and if you notice, when people fly the American flag or an Army flag, a lot of times they have a POW flag on their house too.
I've never noticed that, but I don't watch for that.
Well, they then, I mean, it is common. And then the other thing is, the other option would be to take the POW flag and fly that below the American flag,
Yep.
and then have the other ones be the branches. And that would be a possibility. And that would maintain symmetry and not require an additional pole even, and that would still be very appropriate.
But I figure it's not something that we would have to deal with until we get a few more, people, until it becomes more of an area of interest.
A matured
And
branch.
And the other issue with moving it to the American, under the American flag, is, the person sponsored that flagpole, and we take that flag and move it to the American flag. It's like they're
Mhm.
Sponsoring the American flag.
Their contribution kind of lost some of its.
their contribution is lessened quite a bit.
Yeah, well, when the exhibit loses symmetry, we'll just blame it on the Space Force.
Blame it on the aliens. Blame it on the
All right.
Klingons.
Right. I think we should just build a rocket ship next to the memorial and then put the flag right there.
And
Yeah, let kids climb all over it and that.
Oh gosh. No, we'll navigate that. Like I said, it was brought up to me, like, how are you going to deal with this? And I'm like, good question. And that might be something to ask the Legion, Debbie. Like, how do they?
I'll tell you the truth, I didn't even know they had a flag.
Well,
I don't know if they have
they do. They do.
They're just relatively new. It's only been in the last year or two, right?
Oh, yeah. They have their own flag. It's very Star Trek-y looking.
My favorite is still adding it to the Air Force flag.
Okay, I think I think it's a simple.
Until they become more and more pronounced, I
Mhm.
think that's what should happen.
Okay. All right. Now we're ready to dive into the working business. Mark, you have the balances for fundraising and.
Just give me a quick sec. So, what's the order?
Oh, you know what? Before we jump there, oh no, I see that we have the benches are coming up next. Sorry about that. Go ahead and continue.
Okay, so available funds that we have available is sitting at $16,346.61. That's as of December 1st. Let's see, what's the next one in the order? Then funds raised in October, November we raised between the 2 months $1,639.24. Most of that coming in November with $1,088.31. Spending was pretty significant, of course. We We spent $14,065.10 to finish off and compensate M&D Lawn and Landscape for a job well done.
Mhm.
And then we spent this week $6,644.48 to cover lighting and plants and electrical and
Miscellaneous.
yes, a whole pile of things that we'd approved and been working on, and Ron had been kind of accumulating some billing for and was kind of getting it all caught up. So that covered our electrical costs, which we really ended up doing much better on than could have when we were first talking about that. Plants came in at a really good price too. So yeah, overall, we are in pretty good shape still.
That 16,000, is that before or after you paid?
That
the
is after
1,600?
that's after all the bills. So that
Oh, okay.
is fully up to date. That is our current balance, assuming nothing's been submitted to the village in the last 2 days, which I doubt because people have to make an appointment to bring in something right now. So, you know, we have not, I don't believe we've had any online orders in the last couple of days. I don't recall. So yeah, I would say we're in pretty good shape with most of our essential spending having been done. And, we'll keep raising money, like I said, and we keep having brick orders come in. And I've noticed a little bit too, just there is a little bit of a expansion in the radius of where the people are buying from. You know, I think the last order was from Northville, for example. So people from outside of Wolverine Lake, Walled Lake, Commerce, Wixom are seeing us a little bit and buying bricks. So.
That's nice. I wish that there was a way, I know, I mean, of course, for the veterans, you know, of course, we want to sell the bricks, but I wish there was still a way of getting it out for the families or for a holiday present or, you know, for $100 when you are established here. You know, whatever type of wording or verbiage that would be.
I can
Um,
write up something and put that on the website too. And I know Kelly's mentioned it on Facebook as well. So we can do that so that people know that it doesn't just have to be to honor a veteran, but that we do have that special spot
Right.
for, you know, you just want to be a part of it. You just want to make a contribution.
Well,
You may not have that, but you do want to recognize somebody for something, and here's a way to do it and also help.
the kid's wedding to have it done.
Mhm.
So I did a brick for that. And then for a graduation present for the girl across the street.
Yeah, there's at least 2 weddings on there. I think
Good,
a couple graduations as well.
yeah. So, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
it's a
established ones.
family name. I mean, I know we've had a couple family names on there as well, which has been nice.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so we got, yeah, we'll get into that when we talk about social media a little bit more. Okay, ready to jump into plaques? I think Mark can pull up are you able to pull that one up? That's a text one, isn't it?
Well, what else?
Well, the plaque
Or
that we were
plaques.
talking, yeah,
Oh, I could. It'll be a little bit because it's a text that I have to email to myself.
Okay.
You can start talking about it if you want to.
Yeah, so Ron sent out, I emailed it to, did I email it? I'm trying to think if I emailed it.
I didn't get it.
No.
well,
I text it to you, Debbie. It's in your texting from
Oh,
me.
Just got me today?
Yep,
Okay,
I texted it to you.
okay.
I think Mark will pull it up. But anyway, Ron kind of put the prices out there, the different sizes for the plaques and the costs. And basically they would be mounted on the pillars. It was 16 by 20. I think was the size.
Yeah,
Okay.
would be the large plaque.
And
The plaque would be 16 by 20, and then the nameplates on it would be either 4 by 6 or 2 by 6, depending on what kind of recognition we wanted to give them. And the plaque itself, the base plaque is just over $1,300, and the 2 by 6 little mini plaques are 140, and the 4 by 6 are 160 each.
That crazy how expensive that is.
Yeah, these prices are quite a bit lower than the other prices that I was getting.
Oh, I know. It's just so much money for that.
Well, a lot of it is because we're using bronze. You know, if we use the different metal, but the different metals don't hold up nearly as well as the bronze does in this type of application.
Right.
And the person that gave me these quotes, his name's Gary. I'm not going to try to pronounce his last name. They own a monument company in Southfield, but he's actually a resident of Wolverine Lake.
Oh, very nice.
So
that was our connection guy for the village. Okay.
right. That was, I think you gave me his contact info.
He's the brother-in-law or something for Lee at the bait shop.
Okay.
Yeah, there's some kind of relationship going on there. So, so now the next step is deciding, who is going to be recognized on these plaques. And there we go. Who will be recognized on these plaques, and how many plaques we would need. I figured the 2 plaques where you first come in, the 2 pillars where you first come in would have the first plaques on them, but then each of the 4 pillars that are along the retaining wall and that could each have a plaque on them. So we could easily have 4, 6, we could easily go up to 8 plaques if we have enough people to recognize. But I'd like to start a list of people to recognize to put on these plaques, and what size and so on.
How many, is there a list so far?
I don't think we've started a list. I mean, for myself
No.
personally, I think, people that should be mentioned is like Consumers Energy, because they're paying for the electricity.
Right.
Even the electrician, like Clarence Mills, I mean, he charged absolutely no labor for his, and Dan, who was his helper, only charged a minimal amount of labor. Most of what he gave, he donated his time. And even people like Jeff from J&J, he came out there, did grading for us, did dig some of the footings, and yes, we paid him a little bit, but not nearly what something like that would be. The savings that we made, where people were charging less than half of what they were.
Well, maybe we should do 2 plaques, one for services.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
think we call those in-kind donations, where they're not money, but they're, I have pictures, I don't have them here, but I have pictures of like a lot of the memorials. Say, for example, Oakland Township has a very nice memorial where they did a big, where they did all the plaques. They actually have 4 huge plaques with a lot of names on them. They included all the names of all the, like the engineering department and all these people that helped, put it all together. And then of course, donations. I think, people who've made donations over a certain dollar level could get a plaque or name on this plaque. It's up to, we just need to determine what the criteria will be in order to be honored on the plaque, and then decide who gets you know,
Well,
who gets what.
we do have some ideas because I mean, at least in the donor letter that we're working on, anybody
Right.
who did a flagpole, anybody who donated a bench, things like that would be getting on a plaque. So, and then large donors, and then I think all the in-kind donations are an absolute necessity. I think the Eagle Scout, if he ends up coming through, would be a good one to put on there as well.
Yeah.
But like the flagpoles and some of those where you can,
Right.
where you have specific things, at least I was thinking about using those plaques that you stick in the ground.
Mhm.
And they're a 4x6 plaque that would be at the base
Yeah.
of every flagpole that's, you know, donated.
Yeah. No, I actually went onto Etsy today after you sent that text just to see, is it, looking at a random place to find things, and there are some of those on there as well. But it is like looking at pricing. That's a good price. 'Cause the stuff just it is not cheap.
Yeah,
No,
I have a bid here someplace from that company in Plymouth, and I want to say, you know, that the 2x6 and the 4x6 are at least $100 cheaper than what that other place was quoting me.
that's cool.
And,
So, Ron, when I think about looking at this on the memorial, I see the front two pillars, each with a plaque on the side. One side will reserve for monetary donations, and the other side for the in-kind donations. And I think the 2x6 plate would be sufficient to cover that, probably because we can get a few more donors in rather than if we went with 4x6. So it'd be
Right.
cost savings on top of that as well. But that's visually what when I look at this and incorporate it. Does anybody else, see that?
I agree with you. You can fit more, because of the cost. You can
well,
fit,
but I think certain ones, you know, like consumer energy, you know, I mean, that's a big donation over the years. They're doing, they saved us a ton of money by allowing us to tap off of their service and all this other sort of stuff, and the fact that they're paying for the electricity. And I can think of a few people that would qualify for the 4x6, you know, the larger donors, you know, this, that, the other. But but I do agree with mostly going with the 2x6s. Yeah, definitely. But I
Okay.
think we could develop a list, you know, get a list of people together and to determine how many of the plaques we're going to need. Because on those two entry pillars, we can put one on the fronts when you first walk up, and then one on the inside that faces the walkway. So each one of those pillars can handle two plaques. And then we have the four in the backs on the back
Mhm.
pillars. So once we get a list of names, then we can determine the size of the
Okay.
of the labels, and it doesn't hurt to have a few extra spaces available.
Yes.
When people are making a donation, they know that they have the potential of their names being added to
Well,
those.
that's what's nice about that design is that you don't have to have them all done at once, correct? You can
Right.
add them as you go along, so.
So, Ron, for the flagpole donors to have their recognition, those little stakes in the ground, 4x6, what were the costs on those?
I have to go off of memory, but I want to say they were around $265.
Okay. All right. Because I would prioritize those. At least the ones that we have sold. Um,
Yeah, it
You
might be
know.
a little bit of an incentive too, because then people will know if they donate for the flagpole.
Yeah, and I could find
that's what
out
they might
too
get.
that if we get some that aren't engraved and put them in front of the flagpoles that are still available, and then we could bring those in, have them engraved and put them back. So if the
Okay.
fact that they're blank might
Oh, that's clever.
get
Well,
somebody to consider.
somebody's gonna wish me a good night.
Oh, okay.
Mwah. Good night, honey. Sweet dreams.
Good night,
Love
honey.
you. And say bye-bye. You say night night.
Please.
Everyone saying good night. All right. All right. Say bye bye. There's Uncle Mark. There's Lori. There's Debbie. And Ron. And that's Fred.
She knows most of the people on this.
She knows most of you, yes. All right. Okay, babe. There you go. Off to bed. All right.
How do I write that in the minutes?
Yes.
I gotta figure
And that's
that out.
recorded too on
Yeah.
camera.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah, busted. Yeah, so if we got those marked out front, this is just over the winter. We don't have to get these in the ground next month or two. Oh, first thing in the spring, once the ground is thawed. But I would like to jump on at least getting that much done. And maybe if we've got the whole donor list, we can do the whole order at once.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Again, it depends on how many plaques we're going to be able to fill up. And then we can strategically decide how we're going to place them and stuff like that.
Okay.
Well, did you happen to ask the guy if we were to order, say, 6 of the 16 by 20s or whatever, if that would result in any kind of a discount?
No, I didn't.
Front
Actually,
or-
when I talked to him, he didn't even have these numbers together. And I told him that I needed them for the January meeting. And, that I would touch base with him around mid-December to see where things are at. And then he surprised me with the text today, which I forwarded on to you guys. So yeah, I will follow up with, what do you call it, those stakes too, to see what his price for those stakes would be. And,
Okay.
and see if, from a quantity standpoint, but I already figure he took quite a bit of cost off of these. So I think he's probably
Okay.
at his bare minimum, where he might not be, this is his cost. He's just passing on his costs and not having any profit for himself on it. So.
Which is
See,
nice.
okay. All right. Okay, we're going to talk about the Barco brand benches and hopefully decide on a style and budget. I don't know, Mark, if you can pull up the email that Fred sent.
Do you want the email, the photo? What are you looking for?
Well, the email has all the details on it, so.
Okay.
So how do these differ from the ones that we were looking at before? They look like they're more expensive.
Mark says they're not. They are
Let
less
me see.
expensive.
I can tell you because I have the other company up too. And they are higher. They are more expensive.
They are.
Yeah. So I will show you guys everything because
Because the other ones didn't look as big or as heavy as these do. This one did.
Yeah, I don't know if it, on here it had shipping 250. Do they weigh 250 pounds?
No, that was the cost.
That was the
Cost.
dollar amount.
Oh,
So that's you guys see this?
Yep.
Okay, so that was the prices when you guys bought them, whatever number of years ago.
2015,
Okay,
Mark.
5 years ago. And
Yeah.
this is the bench, the same bench on their
Yeah,
set.
reflection. Yep, that's it.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
it.
at
Yep.
85
Yeah,
is what they're charging there.
Yeah, as you can see, the price has gone up since we bought them back in 2015. But right now, until the end of the year, they are discounting anything and everything you purchase by 20%.
So I'm not sure if that would reflect the 976 or the 848. And then
Well,
just
if
to
it's a-
give you a comparison,
Is
this
it
is what we were-
20% on top of whatever price they already have?
yeah,
Well, it showed 848 there, so it would be 20% off the 848.
Okay,
Yeah, see there, and that's the 6-footer. There's 4, 6, and 8.
yeah.
And
I
we
just
put
think
in
it's-
6-footers and we mounted them in the ground in concrete. We did not bolt them in. So there's 2 different mounting options there.
I figured I went with the bolting for us because we would be placing a couple of them on the memorial.
Oh,
At least that's what we were assuming, or that's what we were talking about. So
yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
why we went with that method. And I just thought, oh, great, it does have that option.
Yes, it does.
Clearly, it would very easily work.
Yep.
How do those benches look after 5 years?
They look great, Debbie. I go down there every couple of weeks, more time in the summer, but they're a little dusty just because of the sun and stuff and dirt. But they're made out of a man-made product, a composite, and they still look good. You can wipe them off and wash them off, but they look really good.
Okay.
And that's part of the reason, because over time they will, sometime the color will be lost, but even they're on the beach at my beach, Mallow Beach,
Okay,
and they're dark green, so we wanted them to blend in with the trees and the grass,
Right.
and they still look really good, and they're solid. They're not going anywhere.
yeah, they look solid,
They look
Hey,
really good.
yeah.
Mark, can you select the 2 gray colors just to see the,
That's white.
oh, okay. That's white
Which
and that's,
we are not going with. I'm just taking the stand.
right, how many birds will go by and ruin that? Or spray painting and carving your name into it, yeah. And then above that, is that like a brick gray color or a brown? Okay,
Brown, cedar, desert tan. That's a little
Okay.
lighter than I thought it would be. And then evergreen, which is what they've got at the, so there's some,
They're pretty.
If
and then, yeah, that's the 8-footer.
that's a big one, yeah.
Yeah,
If
they're
it-
pretty. I mean,
if anybody's interested, I could always get you into the beach. It's locked, but I could get you into the beach and you can actually see it, feel it, touch it, sit on it if you'd like.
It's pretty easy to hop over that gate, just to be honest.
You know?
I was just gonna swim across the canal there.
Oh,
I've done it once or
okay.
twice.
And they also, for an extra charge, they also will put a plaque on there for you too.
Yeah, that price has not changed for the smaller plaque is 82.85 still. The larger one, well, that's bronze versus, yeah, they're both bronze. One's
Yeah, they're
bench,
bronze, yeah,
one's
yeah.
one's something, just a larger one.
Yeah,
It's 148. Just to give you a comparison, the other the benches that we had been talking about were Belson, and that was this one right here. It wasn't as clear about some of their things with, if I recall, we were having some questions about how effective it would go into the ground or something. I don't remember.
the mounting.
Yeah, I think that was because they had, it was unclear on their site. I think it is still. They do have this, yeah, they have an accessory you have to acquire, which wouldn't add a ton of price. So I'm guessing, so it's 416, $500 probably. I mean, overall price differential, it's nothing that's the 6P. It's not going to be drastic. It's that's a 146 5-pound bench. I apologize if this makes anybody dizzy, because it's annoying when you're not controlling it, and I'm just using it like it's just for me. And
And
I don't know what the
then,
guarantee. I mean, this one's got a 50-year guarantee against breakage. It's made from milk jugs, so
I saw that the engraving it was
Mhm.
86 a line.
Yeah, and that's engraved into the bench itself as opposed to
Okay.
a plaque. I do know that for a fact.
Well, we
I
can,
remember
we
that
can get,
clearly.
we can get plaques from the plaque company. I mean, we don't have to get the plaques through them. We can get
Okay.
plaques ourselves.
Yeah,
These
Yeah,
are
you-
heavier, they do make a heavy, this is a heavier bench, the Barco.
Well, it looks considerably heavier.
Yes,
Yeah.
it does.
I have used Barco when I was working. And I also know that the Henry Ford Health System uses Barco. They have the powder coated benches out in front of the Maple Road Hospital.
They are a nice look. It is a nice look. Because how many were we talking about benches? Did we say 4?
Well, we were thinking initially, I think we said initially 2 to put onto the memorial, and then we would, I mean, it was always a matter of acquiring
What-
sponsors
What
for
are we
them,
trying to sell
correct?
these benches for? What's the price
2,000,
that we're trying to
2,000 a
get
piece.
for sponsoring a bench? 1,200,
2000.
2,000? Okay.
So yeah,
Well,
either
Paul,
way, we
did you
would,
see the picture of the bench that I sent you from over there at Scarlett's?
Playground.
that's landscape structures.
Yeah, but I don't have any price information on that.
And they don't have pricing on their site, so you
Oh.
can contact their guy, and I know the guy. I do know the guy who is their representative for us, or I've met him once. But I do know they tend to run a little higher in price. Their stuff, I mean, they tend to make pretty good stuff, and that's why the Scarletts used them for their playground equipment and everything. But,
This
Yeah, that-
Barco is actually the manufacturer, Mark.
That sponsored all
Oh,
those
is it?
benches. So,
okay. So, yeah, I think you're gonna have a price range. It's gonna be 500 to 900-ish. And depending on what you want and depending on what you're looking for. And I mean, I don't know. I think, like, I look at the Belson one, their site does bother me more, just it's a little simpler. But
Kelly said that you got the actual catalogs. You noticed that there's more types of materials, like tons of them. So
they've got a boatload of benches.
Yeah.
And then like, for example, yeah, if I just go ahead and really quickly, I think I actually already did. Yeah. You can see they've got a whole array of styles.
and finishes and materials.
Yeah, I would, like, I mean, certain ones just, teak is not happening.
Right.
Make that very clear. But,
Or the buddy bench.
yeah, no. But there is a lot, they do have, this is, their stuff is more in that field. So it is outdoor seating and things like that, while
Right.
like Landscape Structures is more of a playground focused company with some bench options, not to say that they're bad in any way, but that's really where their focus is. So, I mean, it's a matter of, I don't think we're gonna buy a bad bench.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody's gonna sit in it long enough that's gonna cause severe back problems or something.
Right. Well, for purposes of engraving and
Mhm, that's the big
something on there
question.
on the tag, those Barco board, that style is definitely more conducive to having
you can put
a plaque on them.
on any of those.
So, yeah.
See, I like the more traditional benches like we were just looking at.
And
Yeah,
which ones?
Well, like the one with the at the very top with the guy sitting on it, or the one at the bottom,
Oh, I got you.
more traditional.
Something with some handrails and,
Yeah, I mean the one I used to build benches, like the ones using all the 4x4s, coming together. I just feel that that's a very heavy, heavy looking bench. Even the silhouette is, a little bit lighter looking, this one down here at the bottom.
Mhm.
That's my only thing is the
A lot of
um,
benches. So then this is a
reflection.
little
I'm
ornate,
sure
but yeah, the Georgetown bench is what you're kind of, in general, I think is what you're getting at, Ron.
Well, anything along those lines, or Imperial. Of course, I'm going at more expensive now, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
or the
it looks like an
Chelsea,
8-footer.
or the
That's a lot of benches.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed or if you could tell when I was doing the whole thing just with the tree hugger bench.
I
It
love
wasn't
that one.
It wasn't a part of this conversation necessarily, so much as I think it is something that would be cool to get in general for the park or for the memorial, or a tree that we might get, like
Mhm.
a memorial
Yeah.
tree
around the
as an additional option.
Plant a tree.
Yeah, and then have that build up around it and have that
Yeah.
bench sitting there. I mean, that would be a neat thing to have
Mhm.
to kind of document that history of it. So yeah, this is the Georgetown or the Sterling. Yeah, they're very nice, classy looking benches.
Yeah. If I could add one thing, they do have the metal benches where they're powder coated, and they will actually put whatever words you want on the back of the bench. So it could be Wolverine Lake Veterans Memorial in all the benches.
Well, we're hoping to get sponsors.
Well,
so
we have one so far. That's 6-footer and then 650. Sterling. Yeah, I mean, like I think again we're gonna get caught in the minutia.
Yeah.
Just
So, yeah, again, we don't have to rush this evening. We can take some time to review this and pick out. I think we're leaning toward a style.
yeah, I mean, I don't see anything on here. Oh, yeah, custom engraved plaques are available. So
Yep. That's where the plaques came from when I did these two at the beach. A couple of things, Mark. They do have to either, when you order them, they have to specify you have to have a lift gate on the truck that delivers it, or the place that you deliver them to will have to have a high-low to get them off the back of the truck.
oh, okay.
So that's something that you'll have to make sure of up front. The payment is the village of 50C3 organization.
No, but
No.
we are tax exempt.
We are tax exempt, so it
As
is
a
a
village.
501c3.
It's a different, no, the village is tax exempt because it's
Oh.
a government entity.
Okay,
So
okay, so it is tax exempt, so that you can tell them that, and you can be exempt from taxes
Yeah,
when
we
you
would-
place the order then.
yeah, we just have to email them. Some of them have a document, but yeah, it's super easy to do. We've done it before.
Okay.
We bought a tent.
Okay,
So
okay, all right.
They add up when you start getting big ticket numbers.
oh yeah. Yeah, the taxes make a huge difference.
Mhm.
But
Oh,
yeah, I
yeah.
mean it's a matter, like, yeah, I don't think we need to necessarily rush. And again, there's gonna be a sale. This industry, I mean, the thing that I've been noticing with all these catalogs that I keep getting is almost nothing goes for sticker. I mean,
Right.
you don't have to talk them down like a car,
No.
but it does seem like they do frequently have sales. So if
Yeah.
we don't need to commit to it now, but we could say, do we want to do a more thorough review of which bench we want with which company, and then when the sale comes, strike,
Yeah,
if that works better for everybody.
and there's also negotiation is available, Mark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because what we're doing it for too does have some significance. And then if we were gonna buy if we did buy 2 or we did buy 4 benches or something like that, then that could also have an effect. And especially if we, if we start hitting up the businesses and stuff, and we get a couple sold there or something like that, then all of a sudden, hey, we've got a few to buy.
Mhm.
It might add up pretty quick.
Right, right.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can take some time to look this over and figure out, for January's meeting where we want to go with it. Mark's got the catalogs, they're available. You can see the website on there if you wanted to.
Yeah, I can email
Check
the
out.
links. I can email you guys Barco's website. I can email you. Yeah, it's barcoproducts.com, so it's not a complex one. Or other ones as well. And we can, hit it, make a decision, and then go with it.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to maybe, if we can next month narrow it down and set a budget to get 2 or 3 of these benches. Ron, how many benches would you like to see?
It really depends on the size of them. I mean, if you feel like going down to a 4-foot bench instead of a 6-foot bench, we could probably put some more in. But it would be a matter of, from a balance standpoint, see, the walkway on the other side kind of throws the balance off. Because I was thinking of 2 on the one side and then 1 on the other side next to the walkway. So I was starting with 3.
Okay. Well, at least
I
2
was
for
figuring
sure.
6-foot benches. Yeah, at least 2 on the one side would work.
Okay.
I think it's really one thing I think we're all agreeing on is let's avoid natural wood, not because it's bad itself, but because it'll warp. And
Yes.
I see when you go to the main part of Clara Miller and the natural wood benches by the playground, they do not look good.
They
Right.
don't last.
And they are not comfortable.
No, and then
No.
him saying 5 years and they're just out and they still look good and all you need to do is wipe them down. I mean, that's.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a few, I don't know who the manufacturers are off the top of my head that we have in the park that are around that are of some kind of a composite, and they still, they look good. They're still in good shape, and it's not like we take them in during the winter or anything and cover them.
Right.
They're out there taking that abuse.
and almost zero maintenance
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, that's perfect
Yeah.
for the village.
Yes. All right. Let's move on to corporate letter update.
Sure. So I do want to show you guys, if I can find it. The corporate letter's good to go. And then I did do, sorry, here it is. I added some photos like we were talking about on that second page, the donation page. So I kind of did it like this. You can see.
Mhm.
Okay. So that there is both the day and the night presentation, and then everything else is the same, other than at the bottom I did add about our Facebook page. And then this way, at least they can see the live, what we have in the ground already and what they would actually be sponsoring and donating to. And then of course, if you can see this is the original letter. It hasn't changed.
Now, did you say you were putting the village logo on there or no?
I put it on, it's on the front page.
Okay.
The page, the second page is just so I know, what are you guys seeing?
Nothing.
The
Logo.
Veterans Memorial donation page, and it has the 2
Oh.
photos with the donation
Okay,
level.
well then I've got to change my share page. And then, yeah, that's the second page. So on the first page is this.
Presentation letter.
Yes, and so it's got the village logo and the village header on top. Can you
There
see
it
that
goes.
now? Yeah.
Yep.
So that's on the first page. I have to get rid of that to fit everything on the second page. So I figured you don't need the header on both pages. It's a little redundant.
Let me ask you, if you're going to like print this out, if we're able to print it out ourselves and then go ahead and take it in. When it says dear, do we write it in or is it we going to be able to type?
You can type it in. Yeah, I just left it like that, but I could type in, like I could theoretically just type in dear business, but I feel like if you want to make it more personalized, that would be an effective method would be that you could type in something if you wanted to, or you just, we have the option. We have the flexibility.
Hey, Mark, I think Debbie is asking it that when she receives that on her computer, can she just type in, dear Mr. Business Owner, dear Mr.
Assuming you've got Word,
Yeah.
Microsoft Word, yeah.
Okay, I think that's what she was asking.
Yeah, then you can do it, no problem. And
A live document.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
so are we comfortable with the
Could you
second
scroll?
page?
Can
Oh,
you scroll
sure.
up on this page? Yeah, thank you.
So,
That looks good, Mark.
thank you. I don't think I changed this one at all from our last meeting in October.
Well,
It
just
was
because,
really just the second page that I was working on with the photos and stuff
right.
that I
Can you
incorporated
scroll
those.
up? Because all I see is the first third of the page. Thank you.
And then, so if you don't mind, I'll scroll to the our sponsorship levels, just so you guys can
Okay.
refresh you on that a little bit, because we can change those if you'd like.
I don't know if Arbor should be in there because I mean,
Well, we are looking for sponsors. Well, I mean, Arbor, could change that to Arch or something, or
oh, no. Okay, looking, because it's, for that type of, I mean, if it's going to be, 25,000, that's.
oh yeah. That would be or that would be like a partial sponsorship.
Yeah. I think it's nice.
Probably for the gazebo too, if somebody were to do that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and again, I got some help from Ron and his daughter, and then John Scott's niece.
Very nice.
So people
And
who've
that
actually done this.
goes to what page, or Tabitha?
I'm sorry?
The phone number there, that's.
Yeah, that goes to the village hall.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, it's definitely not my number.
No, it looks like.
That's not happening.
Give him Debbie's number. No.
Yeah.
Looks good.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then, what was that for that?
All right. It's close to bedtime. All right.
So,
Everybody on.
For you
Sorry.
guys,
that-
it's only not, it's, wow, you people. Our
Okay.
lives are so different.
Yes. Okay.
kids.
So that letter you have finalized. It's at the village hall, or you have to get the.
I can send it to her tomorrow or tonight.
Okay.
if we're
Okay.
good to go.
That's fine. Nothing urgent. I just wanted to make sure it was.
I mean,
it's done.
I mean, is there a reason why, just out of curiosity, is there a reason why we need to get it to the village?
No, I
Oh,
wanted to see if I could use it toward Lowe's or Home Depot.
oh,
and
sure.
take it,
Yeah.
a copy with me while I go there.
Mhm.
Um,
Absolutely. Yeah, I just have to merge them.
okay. All right, social media campaign. I'll be brief. So we get more traffic with our Facebook page than we do when I share information from the spinal column. I don't get a lot of hits, but when I make my own post, I get a lot of hits. For example, when I shared the article from the spinal column from about, a month ago, that was like maybe 83 people viewed it when I posted like the final memorial being done, I've got like 1,200 people. So it's quite a difference in, you know, your audience. So I'm glad we didn't run articles in the spinal column, because I don't think they would have been as effective. Few people read it, but a lot of it's more social media traffic than anything. So I think we're right to stick with that. And Debbie, I'll send out a blast for Christmas. I'll do a campaign for a brick or other donations. Also, we were so close to having 100 likes, and I put a campaign out there to get 100 likes, and I got, I think, anyway, I'm well over 100. I think I have 130 likes. And now I have the option of having a fundraiser button because of that. So I can look into doing that. I would have to see if I can speak with Mike Conduct about attaching the PayPal account for the village for people to donate directly into the PayPal account, and see if that's possible. He gave me the information to do it once, but I never did. So I just want to make sure I am current and have the right information to plug in. So I will recheck with him, but I think I can make that donation button, you know, a reality.
I think that's wonderful.
So, okay.
Can't utilize any of those tools, but more power to you.
Yeah. Okay, and then all right, we're coming around the corner here. Any comments? Any questions? Any additions? Anything from anyone?
What, do we talk about the reflector?
Oh yeah. Do you want to bring them up to speed on your conversation with Andy, or do you just want to go to the point?
You know, I go there quite a bit in the evening, quite often, because I'm still trying to work some bugs out of the timer. So sometimes if I go there after dark, it's hard to find the driveway. So I wanted to put a reflector. I wanted to put a 4x4 or 4x6 with a reflector mounted against it over by the rocks where you pull in. And I think I mentioned it to Kelly, and she said that I should talk to Andy because they had some kind of fancy reflectors or that they use with the village. Well, first Andy said that I can't use a 4x6 because that close to the road, which doesn't make any sense because most mailboxes are 4x4s or 4x6s, and he's going to think about it. He could possibly use a reflector, and then he reminded me that technically the park is closed after dark. A half hour after dark, the park is technically closed. So, you know, it's like I still want to put something in because, again, I was there tonight, and I like, you know, we put the lights in there, the landscape lights and everything, with the whole idea of inviting people to possibly look at it at night too. So I wasn't sure. I did tell Andy that I'd probably talk to Mark about getting it put on the agenda for the village council meeting to get reflectors put in the entranceway of the, and then his response too was something about cutting a branch off the pine tree that's over by the overhead light, but that isn't really going to do anything for us. So
I think that's a very good idea. Because you can't tell if you don't know the road, you don't know where to pull in or where to stop.
well, yeah, and all of a sudden you get past those houses, it's really dark until you hit the memorial itself.
Mhm.
But by that time, you're past the driveway, and I just wanted to have something, you know, maybe it's only me, maybe it's my I'm having a hard time driving at night or something. I don't know, but even like I said today, you really have to look for it. And the whole idea of slowing down to wait and see the, heaven forbid there's nobody behind me type thing. So I just thought I'd throw it out there that that's something that I was looking at.
Home Depot sells all kinds of reflectors.
Oh, I know. No, I have a 4x6 left over from when we did the electrical work. I have it's about 4 foot long. I'll put it in the ground where it just sticks up 2 feet and then nail a reflector to it. It's what, a couple bucks?
Yeah.
But at this point though, I'm a little cautious because in my last conversation with Andy is he was going to think about it and review the situation. And I'm thinking, what is he? I'm not quite sure what he's reviewing. And,
Yeah.
but I've had a pretty good relationship with him, like he was nice enough to pick up the pallet with the stones for the water feature and the leftover brick and take it back to the village property. And he's been pretty good. When I did all the trimming on the trees for the parking lot, he did come by and pick up all the branches. So, it's
Well, that was nice.
but I don't want to get him upset, but under the same token, and there was a car in the parking lot there when, I don't know if I see this car there all the time. It's a white Lincoln. And I don't know if it's a neighbor across the street parking in the parking lot all the time or if there's actually somebody that comes there after hours. But I've seen this white car at least 3 or 4 times when I've been by there in the evening.
You really should get, when you're in there, just license plate number and give it to the chief, because I don't know if they're supposed to be in there after hours, leaving it there all the time.
Well, again, I don't want to discourage people from going in there after dark if they're going to, want to check out the memorial or whatever.
Well, yeah, I mean, something like that, but you're not going to, who knows? This is a crazy world. I wouldn't.
Yeah, we won't even start there, but.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
When the sign out there that has a thermometer, the fundraising thermometer, when that comes down, was there any plans to put a sign out there so people know that, oh, what is, I just drove by that. I wonder what that is. What is that flagpole for? Is there something in the works in the future that says, this is the Wolverine Lake Veterans Memorial?
Yeah, Ron and I touched on that the other day of having an official sign, and that's probably on our wish list for the future. I think the signs, when you read them, they're still relevant because we still want you to buy a brick.
Right.
So
We still need money.
Yeah, we still need the money. That's why I didn't quite peel off the sticker all the way. Only went to 80%. So we're still in fundraising mode, and so until we get a little further down our wish list and cross some things off, I would like to leave the signs up, even if it's at least a couple years more. We can update the signs because it does have the old image, and now we have a real image. So I'm pretty sure we could get those updated. Those signs weren't terribly expensive.
No,
I
the
want to
signs
say
themselves weren't that bad.
like 300, and we don't have to get them mounted in the ground because they're just drilled in, so you can drill them out and put in new ones.
The posts cost probably more than the signs or something.
Yeah, I think it was 40 or 50 bucks to get those on, but we can always update. It's not like the picture is too far off from what reality is. So, if you want to, I don't know, we could visit, updating them, but I think we can get by unless.
Get by to at least the spring. I mean, we don't have to do anything for a while. Correct or no? But I didn't think there should be something there when it does come down. I never thought of that, but that's true.
Oh yeah, there's
And
one for War Dog.
I don't know that I would put the sign right there if we get an official sign.
Well,
We
I
can-
think that's a good place.
You think it's a good spot?
Right. Well, it's past the trees because you don't
Yeah.
want to put it over by the parking lot because, with the entrance to the parking lot, because that's technically not the, that's not where where it is. But, like the signs for Scarlet's Playground is over by the library entrance, and then they have another sign at the exact point where you can pull in. That can be
Yeah.
confusing because you pull
Yes.
into the library and you can't get to the
No,
playground
Right.
going that way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you want me to put the flag back up on that sign? Because it blew off when,
I think you can leave it down. I think we've got the memorials in, that was more like
Yeah.
just advertising of what's
well,
to
yeah,
come.
we were advertising that, but it blew off and somebody must have grabbed it off the ground and stuck it,
Oh.
inside there, and I happened
Okay.
to find it and I brought it home. But
I think it's okay without it since we have it built,
okay, I just haven't put it. I needed longer screws, so
Oh, okay.
it wouldn't. But so anybody need a flag?
I bought one like 3 years ago and I can't find it somewhere in my garage.
Well, I bought this one at Costco, and I already have one on my shed and one on the house, and I got one in the center court. So I think I'm with 3 flags, I'm pretty well covered.
Yeah.
So I'm serious. If anybody wants this flag, you're welcome to it.
Save it for,
Right.
put the date on there, Ron, and keep it as a memorial to what all the work you people have done.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there are no other comments, I'll just we'll get a
Do
motion.
I go ahead and put in the reflector or wait for Andy? What do you
Wait.
guys want me to do?
The reflector in.
I would wait.
Yeah, you tipped your hat, so it's hard. You gotta.
The thing is if you're gonna do it, you have to do it before the ground freezes.
Yeah.
You also have to do it before you ask anybody. That's how you do things.
Well, yeah, I should.
You don't,
It
you
would have
don't
been
give your
easier to
hand
ask
away.
for forgiveness than permission.
Exactly.
Yeah, nobody does it. If something shows up at the village, nobody does anything with it. They just let it sit there. So
Like, oh, who put this here now?
yeah, okay. It's
So,
new.
Mark, you think I should wait a week or two and wait for Andy to forget, or what?
Oh, I think that he's right. He's probably the thing with the post and stuff it's probably is a law or some rule.
No, it's not. No,
or an
because
ordinance.
well, I
But
can make it smaller. I can go with a 4x4.
again, I don't know the rules on that. And I think it's something with, this is Andy's domain and, it's important to respect that. And I think, but you are right though, when you say it is dark, like you
Mhm.
do have to slow down quite a bit to take that turn.
As
make
far
sure
as the
you hit
rule
it.
goes, again, I used to build mailboxes, those big concrete mailboxes that you put on the road, and there's a lot of communities that won't let you put them on there because they do have to be able to break away. But all the mailboxes are on 4x4. So if I did it on a 4x4 instead of 4x6, that would still work.
But a mailbox is a government allowed thing. It's federal property or permission. You're not, this is a different thing. It's sort of like how in the village, we can't just put stop signs wherever we want. Because if we do, we violate state ordinance and we lose funding. So there is all kinds of weird rules that don't make a lot of sense, but we have to adhere by to maintain our
Yeah,
existence.
and Andy was okay. Never mind. I'm just not going to visit it anymore in the evening. If you guys want to play with the lights, you'll have to, send.
Well, you
Andy
just got to show up at 5 o'clock and then stay till it gets dark.
Well, just put a closed sign at 3 p.m. and then nobody can visit after 3.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. See if he gets back with you in a week, and you can always ask the administrator too.
Yeah.
You know, that's, you know, you can ask him about putting it in and see what can be done.
Mark, I want you to put it on the agenda for the council.
Well, I could ask the administrator to put it on the agenda.
No, I'm only kidding.
No,
I was gonna say, that's such a little low.
I wouldn't, oh, I know, I wasn't gonna do it. I
Lowly
just said I
item.
could. I said I could. I didn't say I would.
It's good.
Okay, okay.
We're
All
agreed.
right. All right, guys, a motion to adjourn.
All right, if I
And-
get in a wreck, I'm gonna sue you guys.
Yeah.
Oh my God, don't get any more tickets, Ron.
Happy holidays to everyone.
Hold on, please. I need a motion.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Fred, you can't vote. I'm sorry.
Who's
I know,
motioning?
I know.
Thank you.
Debbie, is that you? Are you
Yes.
voting?
Motion
Motion,
Malvin, second.
second long break,
Break.
and
Roll call vote, please. Psycho,
yes.
Melvin,
Yes.
Kruger,
Yeah.
long break.
Yes.
Jeremy, yes.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.